Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Grandstand. This will be our redemption. I know that the US Grand Prix kind of temporarily redeemed Formula One for a bit, and hopefully we can redeem Beyond the Grandstand with this US Grand Prix as well, because the last 3 weeks have been utter frankly, I know that 3 weeks ago, so 3 episodes ago, 3 weeks ago, sorry, we didn't even do an episode. We were all very busy, and we did the commentary for the Japanese Grand Prix, so we didn't actually do an episode that week.
Yep.
The week after, we did a brief thing of Japan, and then we did Mexico, and that was crap because we really rushed it.
We really rushed it. None of us were really in full spirits.
No, exactly. But today, hopefully, we can sort something out. So, I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Alex, in case you didn't know, but obviously if you're watching, you probably know that. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you
are? Mark.
There we go.
Oh.
That was perfect. I'll start off just with a brief note on MotoGP, the Malaysian Motorcycle Grand Prix, which was this past weekend. In MotoGP, Marc Marquez came off the bike.
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
Marc Marquez was on the podium, wasn't he?
Yeah. But he qualified P11 because he suffered quite a decent-sized crash in qualifying.
Yeah, no. He'd be at the back of the grid and he'd still make the podium.
Yeah, so he ended up finishing P2.
People say F1 is predictable.
In fact, Rossi was almost on the podium as well. Yeah,
he's not allowed a podium anymore.
Yeah. And then Moto2 Championship ended, I believe, with Alex Marquez.
Another Marquez. Yeah. Another Marquez.
What's with them?
Oh
the parents need to stop breeding.
Or at least send a few of them into F1.
Yeah, see how they do on 4 wheels. Then obviously Moto3, well not obviously, but Moto3 then ended with Lorenzo Della Porta winning for Honda.
Yep.
Oh, in other news, Antonio Giovinazzi has been re-signed for Alfa Romeo for 2020.
Which all but confirms our prediction that Hulkenberg's career is over. When did we make that?
When he got ditched by Renault.
Before. Wasn't it before?
No, it was when they announced.
No,
Renault.
It was just after.
Yeah.
No, but we knew his career was over.
Yeah, the second Renault got rid of him, it was done.
Yeah, I mean, just on a note there, it is not a smart idea to badmouth your team like he did.
I mean, he was right, but you don't say that.
No. I mean, he wasn't exactly right. I mean, they were still points finishers on the regular.
Yeah, but he said that Renault had no excuse to do as badly as they were at the start of the season, which is true.
Yeah, but also not a good idea to criticize your team when your new teammate, who's coming from a better car into a worse car, is doing much better than you, out-qualify you in every race, and especially after what you did in Germany, Nico. Not a smart idea.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, if he kept his mouth shut, he'd probably still have a seat.
I think he would. I think if he kept his mouth shut, he'd still have a seat.
So, Cyril's not the most forgiving person on the face of the earth.
No, I also don't rate Hulkenberg as high as other people do. He's a solid midfield driver, but there are better drivers in the midfield than him. If he was as amazing as everyone hyped him up to be, he would have been signed by a top team. Just saying. I'm going to be killed by the Germans, aren't I, Alex?
By the Germans?
I'm going to be killed by the Germans, aren't I?
Maybe. Then, alright, so the main event. Onto the main event. The main event. I mean, you're obviously going to get killed by the Germans because you're a gay Jew. Yeah, so that wasn't the main event, by the way. But the main event is, I mean, you do tick a lot of boxes. The main event, 2019, Emirates, Australia? Emirates United States Grand Prix. All good. Obviously, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton really fought it out this race. Absolutely, absolutely gunned it because it was the battle for the championship. Even though we
Yeah.
knew that it was going to end, but the question was, could we make it end later?
No, there was no way.
Yeah.
And
Obviously, yeah.
I don't want to say it, but it looked like that Lewis was told to back off.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he could have defended more on the lap he was overtaken along that main straight.
Yes.
It looked like he very much accepted his fate, or was told to back off, do not risk the double podium finish.
It was still a pretty good, still a pretty good
No?
overtake though by
Yes.
Bottas.
And I don't understand how he got driver of the day. Hamilton. Yeah, no, it should have been Albon.
Verstappen did.
Oh, Verstappen. Why the? Oh, well done,
I ask
Max.
that every time he gets it.
you move from fourth to third with one of the with one of your main competitors retiring. Well done. You did what was expected of you and predicted of you to do. Yes, you are driver of the day. While Sergio Perez, who starts from the pit lane, gets the points finish. Nah, that's nothing. Or Albon, who suffers major damage on the first turn of
Oh wait, no,
lap
it was
one.
Albon. It was Albon. It was Albon. My bad. I'm retarded.
It was Albon?
Oh, Verstappen was pretty close behind though in the votes.
Yeah, what do you expect from the loyal YQ Dutch?
Orange Army. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I think they're only called the Orange Army for the padded helmet colour they wear on their head.
Jesus.
Like,
Okay.
seriously, he cannot be driver's day just because he got point. He did well. Yay, Max! No, it needs to go to a driver who's actually had an amazing drive and did something special.
Yeah.
Like Albon, he deserved it. Or Perez, he would have just deserved it. But Max being second in the votes, how?
It was fourth in the votes, but that's still. But he was only
fourth.
He was only 3%
No, because I
behind.
I was just going after what I saw like on the last thing before they showed it. Like he was shown second.
Yeah, and he's only 3% behind Albon.
How? Just how?
Yeah, so the race itself, if you don't know the result, qualifying saw Valtteri Bottas on pole, Vettel second, Verstappen third, Leclerc fourth, Hamilton fifth, Albon sixth, followed by Sainz and Norris. Lando Norris actually topped the charts in Q1. Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly round out Q3. Nico Hulkenberg was P11, followed by Magnussen, Kvyat, Stroll, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, and Robert Kubica, while Sergio Perez started in pit lane. And that was because he failed to stop at a weighbridge.
Yes, which I don't agree with.
No. Yeah, because like normally you get penalised, but you don't start at pit lane. Like that's pretty.
Oh, you normally do get started at pit lane because Q2 is normally can be used in an emergency for to build a grid.
Yeah.
But I agree with what some of the F1 team bosses were saying that, okay, yes, start from a pit lane if you need to use those results, but otherwise have it as a grid penalty or a fine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I reckon. The race itself, Sebastian Vettel retired on lap 2 after his car decided to jump through the air. Like
it wasn't lap 2.
Yeah, it was.
It was not.
Oh no, lap
it
7.
was not
lap
lap
7,
2.
7, 7, 7, 7.
Ah, yeah, lap 2. You don't even have any excuse to watch it. You were watching it at normal morning time. I was watching it at 3 a.m.
Yeah, so
Go on.
So lap 7 he retired for suspension issues because his car just snapped in half, literally
suspension
twisted.
issues. Suspension issues.
Understatement.
Alex. Oh,
understatement. His car twisted. It twisted. The back half was 45 degrees to the 45 degrees clockwise, and the front half was 45 degrees counterclockwise.
But Alex, did the Williams FW16B have steering rod issues?
Well, actually, yeah.
What did it?
It was a
What
bit
did
of
it
a
have?
catastrophic issue, but
Yeah. So issue. Yeah, that's our new word for if went really wrong.
it went really, really bad. A catastrophic failure. Yeah. Um. Yes. Okay. So, and then on lap 31, Robert Kubica retired due to an early leak. He pulled into the pits. The very end of the race is pretty interesting though. During the race, there was a bit of a battle between Kimi Raikkonen, Danny Kvyat, Sergio Perez, and Nico Hulkenberg, while Danny
Yeah,
Ricciardo
it took
and
his.
Lando Norris were battling for
Wasn't
sixth.
it wasn't really a battle. I mean, not really. Like people were saying, "Oh, one more lap and Lando would have had him." Last I checked, wasn't the time distance 2 seconds?
Yeah, he would have been close, but he wouldn't have overtaken him.
Wouldn't have been one lap. No, people are saying, "Oh, one lap, one lap, one lap." No, I don't think
Two
so.
laps,
Not
two
at all.
laps probably.
Not even 2 laps, because that's assuming Ricardo just gives up the fight.
Yeah, but well, he would have caught up. He would have like gotten like caught up to him in 2 laps. Is what I'm
Two
saying.
laps, 2 laps. If Lando drives a perfect lap,
Yeah. Um. And yeah,
I
so
would say Ricardo finished comfortably in 6.
yes, Alex Albon fell back to the start after a collision at the very beginning, and then
He's
managed
lucky he didn't have a suspension issue, Alex.
and then yeah, so he fought his way up back to P5,
Yeah,
and there was pretty much no one on either side of him for miles, so he was really comfortably there. Same with
yeah.
Charles Leclerc, he had no one on either side of him. He finished P4. There was really no one
And people,
near him.
should we address the whole Ferrari cheating? Oh, they cheated. They cheated. This is proof.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it. And people are saying, "Oh, look
If
how
they were
slow Charles was."
cheating, they would have not done so badly this whole season.
No, but they're saying, "Oh, ever since Red Bull accused them and they said this and this, they were slow in the race." But if you notice, Charles was actually keeping somewhat close to the main pack.
Yeah, he
But
wasn't lapping slower.
after Vettel's issue, he dropped down. It's almost like Ferrari told him over the radio, "Be careful over the curbs."
Yeah.
I swear, Ferrari must have said that to him. That could drop someone's pace, couldn't it, Alex?
You may have a suspension issue. Be careful. Yeah, so
It's almost like
yes.
that. Yeah, no. So don't read too much into it. I expect Ferrari to be beating Red Bull again in Brazil.
Yeah, so then Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas had a bit of a tussle for the lead, but it wasn't that good. I mean, Bottas managed to get
Oh,
ahead quite late, very
yeah.
late.
But like I said, it was very much a Valtteri. It's James. Lewis is going to let you past type of thing.
Yeah. And then Max Verstappen was third. He was closing in on Hamilton quite a lot in the later stages, but in the end didn't quite get past him. And
Which is
then, yeah, Carlos Sainz is P8. Danny
disappointing
Kvyat
race.
finished 10th, but had a 5-second time
I mean,
penalty for nuking Sergio Perez's end plate.
yeah. And what's happened to the McLaren these past 2 races?
That's some
Normally
pretty.
they finish. Normally they finish where they start.
Well, normally they finish.
And
Oh, well, normally they get a
Carlos had,
really good getaway, and then they lose like 2 places on like the first couple laps, and then they stay there afterwards.
but do you think we could say on some tracks Renault has better race pace than McLaren?
Well, yeah, because McLaren is like Mercedes, where they're more corner based, whereas Renault are more Ferrari, where they're more straight line.
Yeah, definitely. We see that in some tracks. Well, very much.
Yeah. Yeah, so Danny Kvyat fell down to P12 after his penalty. Lawrence Stroll was
Yeah.
P13, Giovinazzi 14, Grosjean 15, and Russell was classified 17, 2 laps down. While the last couple laps saw lap 52 saw Kevin Magnussen completely just launch himself off the
Pull a
track and into
Grosjean.
the gravel.
He pulled a Grosjean.
And then at the very end, Gasly had to retire on the penultimate lap after Sergio Perez broke his suspension.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Perez breaks someone's suspension and causes a retirement and doesn't get penalised. Someone bumps into him and breaks his end plate off and does get penalised.
I think it was a bit different, but Alex.
Yeah, it still looks bad though.
What can you do?
Yeah. So there was those. So yeah, pretty exciting the very end of the race. But yeah, other than that,
Once again,
okay.
there's people online complaining this was the most boring Grand Prix ever.
Clearly, they didn't receive the 2-hour time penalty that was France.
Yes, we know your hatred for the French, Alex.
Oh well, yeah, obviously, but yeah. Yes. So, what was I gonna say?
What were you going to say? Come on.
It was towards the end. I was gonna say something. I can't remember. Yeah. So championship standings. Obviously,
Over.
yeah, it's over. But Bottas is sealed in second. It's physically impossible for him to go up or down a place now.
Now, the question is, who is going to get the drink in third place?
Because, yeah, currently it's Charles Leclerc, and 14 points behind him is Max Verstappen, and 5 points behind him is Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, I reckon the same. I think it might. I think the battle for fourth is going to be more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And then the battle for sixth is still going. We got Albon currently leading that, 4 points ahead of Science, and he is then 3 points ahead of Gasly.
Albon's got that. Albon's got that.
Then yeah, and then the rest of the midfield is still fairly close, from P9 down to P14.
After the US Grand Prix, do you think we can safely call 1 to 5 of the Constructors' Championship?
Pretty much. I think the top 5 are pretty much going to stay what they are.
I mean, unless Renault pull off a few double podiums and McLaren retire.
Unless Renault get a 1-2 finish when McLaren retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the top 5 are going to stay the same.
I mean, how do you think Nico Hülkenberg feels that an F1 car has more podiums than he does?
Hamilton's car, yeah. And then the battle for 6 in the Constructors is actually going. 1 point separate P6 and P7, Racing Point and Toro Rosso.
I think Racing Point will get that.
Yeah, and Toro Rosso actually had it until Kvyat's penalty. Actually, Toro Rosso were 2 points ahead until the penalty, and then now they're 1 point behind.
Why, but somebody's telling me that Racing Point are going to get it.
And then Alpha's pretty much going to stay in 8th, Haas is going to stay in 9th, and Williams is going to stay in 10th. And with Haas, obviously Kevin Magnussen has scored 20 points, Grosjean scored 8, so that correlates to their driver numbers.
So, Alex, did someone point that out to you?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the first time in history, Mr. Statman?
I don't know, actually. I think, no, surely not.
Surely not. Alex, remember, this is a new system.
Yeah.
4 driver numbers were determined by championship of the cars, so this would probably be the first time.
Yeah, unless well, actually no. All the way through the 80s, the cars had the same numbers because they were done off. I think it was like 78 or 79. The 1979 championship decided the numbers for like the next 10 years. So that could have happened then. I'll have to do some more looking into that because I think that'd be interesting to find out.
This year, do you think Grosjean's getting an unfair amount of?
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I reckon that him and Magnussen would be damn near equal on car destroying potential.
Yeah. Well, Magnussen even worse because Magnussen's willing to destroy a car.
Yeah, Grosjean just happens to destroy.
Yeah, Grosjean does
to destroy a car.
Grosjean does it accidentally. Magnussen does it deliberately.
People are giving him shit for the US Grand Prix one. You got to remember, he had a brand new front wing on that was untested. And I don't think it was his fault because even Haas took it away straight away. The moment they probably looked at the telemetry, they're like, "Yeah, this wing does not suit our car. Let's not use it."
Yeah. Well, yes.
I
So
mean, I reckon. Hang on, Grosjean. I mean, Magnussen would have had to stick up a higher repair bill this year, considering what he did to the car in Canada.
yeah, Magnussen screwed his team's qualifying in Canada and
He
nearly
he
obliterated his car.
he did obliterate his car. New chassis, new engine, new gearbox.
Yeah. And Grosjean was going to set like a top 6 time and then got absolutely cucked.
Yeah, but no, I would say that Magnussen has cost a bigger repair bill to Haas this year than Grosjean. Grosjean's destroyed front wings
Yeah, but he's never
and
actually
single bits of
destroyed the whole car.
suspension. No, I mean you can bring up Russia, but that wasn't his fault, and that wasn't as bad as Magnussen's.
No, exactly.
I think we can say Magnussen's caused more damage to Haas this year. We'll make
Yeah.
that clear. This year.
Well, last year was like not really. Well, Grosjean wasn't actually that bad last year, except for Spain.
Spain. I think everyone wanted to see that happen again and not happen again.
Yeah, I mean, it made it more. It made it more interesting. I would want to see. I would want to see that happen again, depending on who got taken out by it.
Well, as long as no one got hurt.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have to say that now, because people will be like, "Oh, you want drivers to get hurt."
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. So we got that. Yep. So the World Championship has ended. Lewis Hamilton has taken P1 the championship. Will Valtteri Bottas pull a Rosberg and win the remaining races of the season?
no.
Probably not. Abu Dhabi maybe, but definitely not Brazil. Next minute.
I don't know who will win Brazil. Something tells me Ferrari will, like a Ferrari driver.
Maybe. Vettel won it 2017. Verstappen
Oh,
almost won it in 2018.
hey, now talking point, because I've been seeing a lot of this on Facebook, and no doubt Alex has too, and I think it's best that we discuss it. People want to see F1 in Australia move to Mount Panorama.
That is too ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Should we analyse why it's a bad idea?
No runoff. Ridiculously tight.
First of all, let's bring up the possible overtaking points on it.
There are none. Turn 1. Turn
No,
2.
no. Turn one's not possible. Hell corner is not possible. Look at the run up you get on it.
Yeah. Turn 2 maybe.
Maybe if you get an extremely good run, you could do it out of the chase.
Yeah, and you can do it on Conrad straight. But other than that, then there's nowhere to overtake.
I mean, you could. Yeah, so I think we've worked out the only possible overtaking points. And I mean, possible. I mean, Griffin's Bend is narrow, dude, and I mean
I
really
don't even
narrow.
think F1 cars would be able to make it around. I mean, Jensen Button did it, but those cars were half. But the car he took around was half the size of the ones nowadays, and he's still
And
struggling.
even then, there was a few. There was even a few ooh moments, and
Yeah,
even
exactly.
he said they were. So I think I think we have to get rid of turn two as a possible overtaking point because of how narrow it is and the profile of the corner.
Yeah, and there's no
I
runoff
think.
areas whatsoever.
I think. Oh yeah, everything. It would be a red flag if an F1 car crashed.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way in hell that they could do it.
Yeah. So I think the only possible overtaking points are into and out of the chase. Well, no, you wouldn't be able to overtake into the chase. You'd have to have a really good line behind the driver into the chase, and then get him as he exit the chase. A, B Murray's corner if you're still battling at that point.
Yeah, and
Along
then
the
on the
Conrods.
straight.
So in terms, this is worse than Melbourne in every single possible way.
Exactly.
Yet people seem to be obsessed with bringing F1 there.
There are other tracks that are fine, like for example, whether it be Brabham in Sydney. There's one in Perth. There's Adelaide. There's a couple in Adelaide. There's a couple in
What
Melbourne.
one in Perth are you talking about?
I can't remember the name, but it's an Aboriginal one. Aboriginal name.
Arbagello.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's not
That's
Aboriginal.
not Aboriginal.
That's not Aboriginal.
After you said it, I said, yeah, that's not Aboriginal.
Yeah, you're thinking of.
This isn't racist at all.
This will have to be cut. This will have to be cut.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that one. There's a couple obviously in South Australia. There's one in Darwin. There's a couple in Queensland and Brisbane. There's Albury.
Alex, be careful what you're saying. You may give people the idea we want it to return to Adelaide.
Not Adelaide Street Circuit.
No,
Definitely not.
God no.
No, I mean the other circuits in Adelaide.
Now, call me crazy. I feel like if they made it wider, there is a street circuit where F1 I reckon would be amazing at if they made it wider.
Yeah.
Gold Coast.
I was actually just thinking that. Yeah, that wouldn't actually be that bad. Speaking of Gold Coast, obviously, if you follow Supercars, you would have seen Scotty McLaughlin's big medical scare last week.
Yeah. I mean,
Ended up in
I don't.
ended up in intensive care as a trauma patient.
Well, out of caution.
Yeah, because they thought that they did an MRI and it showed that he had bleeding on the brain, but it turned out to be a false alarm.
I think it was great to still see the brotherhood of V8 drivers that still exists even now.
Exactly. Good on Shane Van Gisbergen.
Shame you don't really see that in F1 anymore.
No, exactly.
You used to.
Yeah. So yeah, I think next up, don't know if we want to hop on to the next segment. Just a quick Triple Crown Classics, which we haven't done in ages. In the 1960s.
So we've been lazy.
Yeah. Monaco Grand Prix, I'll start off with. 1960 and 61 were both Sterling Moss for Lotus. 62.
Yes!
Jesus, I just got deafened. 1962, Bruce McLaren and Cooper.
Alright, you said the word that makes me most happy.
Yeah. 63, 64, 65 were Graham Hill in BRM. 66 was Jackie Stewart's BRM. 67 was Danny Hume's Brabham. 68 and 69 were both Graham Hill's Lotuses. And then the Indianapolis 500, 1960 was Jim Rathman. 1961 was AJ Foyt. 1962 Roger Ward. 63 Parnelli Jones. Foyt won again in 64. Jim Clark won in 65. Graham Hill won in 66. Foyt won in 67. Bobby Unser won in 68, and Mario Andretti won in 1969. And then last but not least, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, 1960, saw Olivier Gendebien and Paul Freire win for Scuderia Ferrari. Then they won again the next year, but instead of Freire, Gendebien was partnered by Phil Hill, who also won the F1 championship that year. And the pair then won again in 62.
I think we saw the first. Is that our first ever driver to get 2 steps of the Triple Crown?
In the same year, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Since F1, yes. I think
Yeah.
Fagioli did it before then. But yeah, 63 were 2 Ferrari legends, Ludovico Scarfiotti and Lorenzo Bandini, winning for Ferrari in 1963. With Bandini going on to win Formula One race as well before losing his life in Monaco.
Well, we're about to get to the very, very interesting part of Le Mans. 65 to 67, I would say, are the most interesting.
Yeah, 64 was Jean Goucher and Nino Vaccarella in Ferrari. Then 65 saw Jochen Rindt, Maston Gregory, and Ed Hughes win for Ferrari for North American Racing Team. Then 66 is where it begins, the battle between Ford and Ferrari.
Well, no, it started in 65, to be honest.
Yeah, but It wasn't that. They weren't fighting for the win. Um, yeah, so 66, Bruce McLaren and Chris Amon won for Shelby in the Ford GT40.
Well, should we tell the story about how McLaren won, or should we make that its own separate episode? The
Oh,
60, the
we could
60
talk about it
tale
after.
of McLaren.
I'll get up to 69, then we can talk about that. So yeah,
I
then
think you should talk about. Yeah, okay, I'll
yeah.
let you go.
So Dan Gurney and AJ Foyt won in 67 in the Ford GT40. Then Lucian Bianchi, who's obviously the uncle of Jules Bianchi, won in 1968, partnering Pedro Rodriguez, one of the F1 greats, in Mexico, that is, for the JW Automotive Engineering Ford GT40. And then Jackie Ickx and Jackie Oliver won in 1969 for the same team, same car. And imagine if they had been joined by Jackie Stewart, who won the F1 Championship that year. We would have Jackie Ickx, Jackie Oliver, and Jackie Stewart in the same car.
You just said Jamie Oliver for a second.
Jackie Oliver. Jamie Oliver.
Jamie the driver's nice and healthy.
Yeah, so
No more,
would you
no
like
more
to,
cigarettes and whiskey before the race.
Would you like to talk about the 1966 24 Hours of Le Mans?
Just a certain driver got screwed for image purposes. And I feel like I would love, and I mean love, for there to be some recording of the discussion afterwards. Wouldn't you, Alex? Like
Yeah.
just to hear the, I mean, I guess you'd say the team room after that. Should we tell them what we're alluding to?
Yeah, go ahead.
It should we, as in you.
I reckon you go ahead, because you know a bit more
I
about
mean
this one
you.
than me. I don't know much about it.
Oh, far out. Come on, dude. I was relying on you.
Legit trying to read about it.
How did you not know about it?
I don't think this is
It's
the right
pretty well
year.
known.
I don't think this is the right year.
No, 66 is the right year. 66 is the right year. Pretty damn sure it's the right year.
Oh yeah, they staged a dead heat. Yeah.
Yeah, but they knew the rules that if it was a dead heat, the driver that started behind them would win.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
means
that's a
the
pretty
certain,
stupid rule.
which means Ken Miles got royally. I mean,
Yeah.
he got absolutely bent over and taken to town. I mean, he was a mate in a Kiwi rotisserie.
Yeah, he was, hey, 3 Kiwis. Yeah, Tony Hume was there as well. Meanwhile, Holman and Moody's GT behind him with Ronnie Bucknam and Dick Hutchinson they'd be laughing afterwards. So like, hell yeah, podium while everyone else is attacking each other.
Yeah, basically, car 1 got told to slow down for a dead heat, and now Miles didn't like that because he knew that if he slowed down and did a dead heat, that those Kiwi as he probably would have put it, those Kiwi car 2, if we do a dead heat, we'll get the win. But I don't think Ford gave two about Ken Miles, did they?
No.
No. Yeah, but no, he got bent over and taken to town. Yeah, just no. I mean, do you feel bad for Ken Miles?
I mean, yeah, the rule's pretty bad. Nowadays, they would have, like, timing down to the millisecond. Well, no, they wouldn't, because it's Le Mans.
I don't.
No, Le Mans based on
Yes.
laps. It's based on laps, so really,
Yes.
there would be no way of measuring that. That's the only way they could do it.
No, they were on the same laps, right? But there is no dead heat in Le Mans. Because you got to realise, back in '67, they still had the Le Mans style start.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, they do it as in the car that starts behind. If they finish in a dead heat, then it's the car that started behind would get the win
Yeah,
because
which is
he's
an
driven
odd
because
rule,
he's
but
driven
yeah.
further. Well, no, it's not an odd rule
No,
because
no,
they've
that's
driven
true. That's true.
slightly further.
Yeah,
They've drove 3 meters further.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, quirky ending to that. Obviously the Kiwis and the Brit are they're all pretty they're all a pretty aggressive bunch and went at it afterwards.
Ah,
Yep, and then
gotta love the Kiwis.
yep, so Ford GT40 got, and they're all Mark IIs as well, got a 1-2-3 finish. Porsche came 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Ferrari got P8 and P10.
I mean,
There was another Porsche in
everyone.
P14.
I think everyone talks about Ford came and dominated. They've had the best cars, but I'm of a different opinion that Ferrari were going through a shit period at that time,
There were, so was Porsche.
and I think it would have been going. Yeah, Ford got lucky
Because that
in
was the
'67.
perfect period where Ferrari had just lost their competitiveness and Porsche was building it up.
Yeah,
So they got that
so
little
yeah,
brief period between them.
they got that window. Yeah, and I know we're probably going to get absolutely murdered for saying that, but it's. I think we
That's
can say
true.
it's a fact. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Ford got
so
lucky.
yeah, and only 15 cars actually finished that one. A lot of cars did not. Hang on,
No.
yeah, a lot of them didn't. One car finished 321 laps, so they actually made 24 hours, but retired at the very end.
That's kind of bad. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So yeah, and Alpine Renault got P9, 11, 12, 13, 4, and 13, and Mini Marcos got P15 because they entered such a slow crap car that it was
Oh.
it was over 100 laps down. It was
I was gonna say,
102 laps down, but it was
wait, did you
so
just say?
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Did you just say a Renault Alpine finished P9?
Yes.
Jeez, was one of Hulkenberg's ancestors driving that? Let me just check. P9 in a Renault. Uh, let's
It
see.
was driven by Henri Grandscher and Leo Sella.
Yeah, German enough to be.
No,
Oh wait,
they're
no,
French and Italian.
no. Oh, damn it! Why couldn't they have a? I would love for them to have a. Ah, missed out on a great Hulkenberg joke there.
But yeah.
Well, at least they probably got to keep their drives next year.
Rip. But yeah, so Mini Marcos finished P15, 102 laps down. They managed to build a really crap, terrible, slow car, but it managed to be reliable enough to actually finish the race. It was the car that finished the race in the best condition.
I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't even look like it belonged in Le Mans.
No, it doesn't.
Could we say that they maybe possibly entered that for advertising?
Maybe.
I mean, I think we can say.
That
I
car
mean, I'm
ended
going
up
to
being
get.
stolen and was only found in December 2016.
I'm going to have a controversial opinion here. Like, really controversial.
Here we go. Yep.
Just because everyone says it. I reckon the Porsche and the Alpine, both Alpine or Alpine, depending on how you want to say it, both looked better than the Ford.
I agree
As cars,
100%.
looked better.
Yeah, I agree.
But people normally chuck a shit when you say that.
No, it's because they're the Americans.
Americans, they love compensating, don't they?
Yep, small man syndrome. That's why all
Yeah.
their trucks are so big.
So, what next is on our agenda? Because
Uh,
we don't have many we don't have many talking points, do we?
Here we go. We got well, it's our meme section next. So, frankly,
Oh,
first up, we got has Tatiana scored a point yet? Obviously, there's been no races, but has she? Drum roll. Hang on, I'll give you a drum roll.
course not.
It's not
If there
physically
was a
possible because
race,
there hasn't been a race.
if there was a race, I think she's still completing. What was the last race? We had an F2.
Russia.
Monza.
Russia.
Russia. Okay, she's probably still. Nah, Monza. No, she's probably still completing Monza. Then she's moving on to. Then she's moving on to Russia. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Uh, what would it be? Like 6 weeks since Monza? 8 weeks?
longer.
Maybe she's on the last lap now. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe.
She's that slow.
Yeah. So obviously yes, she has not scored a
I
point.
can't. I cannot wait for F2 next year.
Then we got
I mean,
10
chance.
minutes. We got 10 minutes to take some pits.
Oh, who's getting the pits taken out of them? Hmm. I mean, I think we basically did it through the whole show. We just did a very slow build up to taking the pits,
Yeah, we've
didn't
actually.
we?
Yeah, I was gonna say this whole thing's been a bit of a meme.
Yeah. Next week should be good because we got Mike coming back,
Yes.
and Mike will maybe possibly be losing his soul playing a very evil game.
Yeah.
You guys are yet to see.
Yep. So this video will go up, and then we'll post the video which has already been recorded.
Yes. Should we give him a slight tease to
Nah.
this game? I think we should.
Nah.
I think we should. Just they need to be their souls need to be prepared. They need to go to the confessional beforehand and just clear their sins because watching this will build it up quite
We can
fast.
give a hint, but we shouldn't say what game it is. We can say that they're gonna go
Okay.
to hell for laughing at it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go to hell for laughing at it. And it's a game that I think we're going to keep on our channel.
Yeah.
I think we'll keep it, and I think we'll keep and I think we'll keep the code as private as we can
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
game.
We might release it afterwards.
Or we may,
After a couple
I mean,
episodes.
we may have a period of exclusivity where we'll invite you guys to join in if you want.
Yes.
But I think we can say that I think it's the project we're most proud of.
Yeah, it took us a goddamn long time to do. A really
Oh,
long
oh
time.
yeah. I think
That was
3 days.
so annoying. Yeah. And they were like all day as well.
Would you say 3 days of solid
Yeah,
work
yeah,
or work?
3 days non-stop, basically.
Well, we produced some absolutely cracking writing.
Yeah, a lot of it we're gonna go to hell for, but
Well, you are.
I
I was a
am.
lot less evil than you.
I got some really,
I mean,
really, really bad ones.
I may give you a run for your
You
money
got
with
a
that
couple.
one
No,
card.
you got a couple. Yeah,
I was about to say, oh, none of mine are evil. Then I just remembered,
you had
yeah,
less, but you had a couple of really bad ones, and I had like more slightly
not
bad
as
ones.
bad. But no, so I think that's it for Beyond the Grandstand. We will see you next week.
Yep. Next week we'll do some discussions. Hopefully this episode's been good. But yes,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Next week's going to be a lot better because we'll have Mike on and it's before the Grand Prix one, so we'll have our predictions, we'll have our big discussion like last time. All up,
Yes.
I think we enjoy our off Grand Prix ones more, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, because we can just go mad. Basically, we can pull a Bernie.
Yeah.
What?
Just full of our Bernie, I'm just full of our Bernie joke that we have in the game. You know which one I'm talking about.
I can't say it because the people are gonna hear
End the episode
it.
before we
Okay.
give it away.
Goodbye, everyone. Make sure that you watch our game. It'll be uploaded before the end of the week, easily.
Yep.
Alrighty. Goodbye.
Oh god.